All right, let's listen to this video. This is an old video here. Let's listen to it.
Let me warn you for the last time. The day you shake your bum bum on TikTok, that day you are going to Shoba, you are going home. Idiot. See, let me warn you for the last time. The day you shake your bum bum on TikTok, that day you are going to Shoba, you are going home. Idiot.
All right, so as you can see, we're still talking about Kataefe and what's her name? Ella. We're still talking about. Let me read some of these comments for you so that you can see what we're talking about. Again, this young man is it's a streamer that just blew up recently. He was on a trajectory for massive success. You see, when you give too much success to young men, it can be detrimental. Okay. It can be detrimental, and that's what I'm looking at here. Is an overly excited young man. Again, what did she do wrong? Probably a lot. Okay, she probably did a lot wrong too. But again, if you have a lot of success early on in life, or you're attracting a lot of attention, there's a good chance you might attract a young, nice little sweet thing, a young lady too, and it might be a setup for failure. Okay. So, but what can we hold her accountable for? I'll let you handle that. But let me just point out to you what is going to happen to you if you don't listen to me, especially as a man. Okay. Somebody said, ladies, we need to talk. Say, boost your children's esteem at every chance you get. He knows she lacks self-love, worth, and evidence. He knows she lacks self-love, worth, and confidence. He's riding on that wave. That doesn't look good. Pretty good. That's a good point, right? So what kind of would your daughter end up in the hands or in this type of relationship? Listen again.
Let me warn you for the last time. The day you shake your bum bum on TikTok, that day you are going to Shoba, you are going home.
So on the surface, what does it look like? It looks like, okay, it's just a young man, staying in control of his relationship and just saying, hey, this is how I want my lady to move. Does he have the right to do that? Right? Did you use the word right? Okay.
You're right.
Yeah, I think it's irrelevant to what we're talking about. Let's talk about why your daughter, God forbid, right, could potentially end up in this type of relationship where a person who claims to love them is talking down on them like this. That, I think we should talk about that. Maybe that's something we can hold women accountable for, right? Your self-esteem, your self-confidence, your self-worth. Where's the blurring line between that and submission? What we just saw, does that look like submission to you, or just something else that's about to that's about to collapse, right? It looks very bad, right? All right. TikTok, no, not TikTok, Natu, but you can shake your own on TikTok. I'm not sure what you're speaking to, Natu. I'm not sure. Let me see here. Ladies, we need to talk. Somebody said, women, respect your men and do as he say. Men, love your wives as Christ loved the church. Imagine. That's what Slim K said. That, what we just saw is terrible. There's no how. There's no way you can justify talking to your wife like that. Okay, I think most women know they shouldn't talk to a man like that. I think women with sense already know that, but I don't think a lot of men know that. And I think I can blame some of our fathers for that. Some of our older gentlemen for that. Sometimes they are trying to make a point, but then the point is being misinterpreted by a lot of young men the wrong way. So being in control of your relationship does not have to involve you talking down on your lady, or what you're doing is talking down on yourself. You lack self-respect, and you need validation that are more so tangible. You must talk down on the person before you can feel in control, right? Or she lost respect for you, and the only way you can earn respect back is for you to talk down on her. Well, it's a time bomb. It's only a matter of time before she start getting people like Jojo Fiele to start saying, hey, why do you have to accept such nonsense, right? Exactly. So what's the better way to do? Well, why don't you just have some self-respect, and there's a way you move as a man. Women naturally submit to you, and they naturally respect. Now, if you're in a long-term relationship, sometimes there will be crisis, okay? and it might be completely out of your hands. And yes, you might mistakenly, let me just accord you might mistakenly fall in the hands of a disrespectful lady. There's also a way to handle that with proper self-respect. But you definitely don't want to be in a place where you're barking down yourself, looking like you're barking down your woman. You're probably going to get in more trouble. It's going to get worse. She's going to lose more respect. And then the longer it takes before she wakes up, the worse it's going to get. Okay? Someone said, you sabi babu mado. Someone said, are you a fine babe? Chai. Women, love yourself. I like this point that this somebody is bringing up here. It's I guess, but it's not to victim blame. It's just to say, ladies, if you don't have, if your self-worth is tampered with, you might end up with this kind of guys, and you might justify it. Like I said, there was a conversation I was having earlier on, and a young lady, she said, I don't want my man to be agreeable. Somebody was trying to say, no, your man needs to be agreeable. And I get the gist, because if you get stuck again in dictionary, agreeable is not, it can, a man needs to be sure of himself. So, and sometimes that means he's open to disagreeing and he's not afraid of conflict. And then I found out that what she was trying to say is that she doesn't want a man who is afraid of conflict, right? But some women can actually take that to the next level and think that it's okay for a man to back down on them. And they call that, I like my man to be a manly man. Okay, oh, sure, auntie, I want my man to be a manly man. I hope when there's actual crisis, you never get to a point where you feel the need to run away, because an average woman will probably at some point run away. But anyway, you enabled that behavior from the very beginning, but you called it, oh, a man needs to be agreeable. But I understand there's a nuance here where there's attraction. When you're attracted to a man who is sure of himself, who is not easily shaken off of his standards, okay? But it's 2026. It's really more of a nuance than it's about words. And I just want us all to be careful, okay? So if you don't feel safe, secure, something is telling you that it's not safe and secure, okay? You need to listen to it, okay? And yes, it's true. A man moves a certain way, he's sure of himself, and sometimes that can show up as arrogance as opposed to confidence, or he's sure he's leading you in a different direction. But if you don't feel safe about his vision and where he's leading you, you should probably listen to that. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe. Turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. I've got some more trendy stories around the world. Bringing that right up. I'll be right back. This is Ola Akman of Prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoyed this, smash that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife Lola and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and Number 1 Red Flag, yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +1 732 305 8577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here.